everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting the Fellriders. I think that's what they're called. Yes, the new Darkoath cavalry unit from the Darkoath Army Set that Games Workshop very kindly sent to me early to build up and paint for all of you, and that is exactly what we are doing today. Here they are. We have 3 of them. The other 2 are elsewhere at the moment, but we're going to be covering it over on these 3 because we're going to do 3 different horse recipes, and these are the 3 most interesting ones, with the musician, the standard bearer, and the chieftain or sergeant or champion, whatever it's going to be called. So there we go, we have all 3 of them. Now they've all been primed in Wraithbone, and we're going to grab our paints, grab our brushes, and we will be right back in just a sec. So for our first horse recipe, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Agrax Earthshade and we're going to apply this over top of the entirety of the horse's skin. Just going to start up here on the face and then work our way down and around the rest of the horse. So with that all done, just whilst we're waiting for it to dry, what we're going to do is going to move on to our next horse, which is going to be this individual. So the colour we're going to be using for this is a roughly 1-to-1 mix of Contrast Medium and Basilicanum Grey. And we're very similarly going to apply this over the top of all of the horse's skin. And so with that then done, for our third horse recipe, which we're going to do here on the banner bearer, on the standard bearer, what we're going to do is we're going to take a roughly 2 parts Contrast Medium to 1 part Black Templar mix. And we're going to apply this over the top of all of the horse's flesh. Now that we've got all of our base horse flesh on, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the hair of the horses. And the colour we're going to be using on our Agrax Earthshade one is Wyldwood. I'm going to apply this all over the top of the hair, the tail, the mane, all of it. So with all that Wyldwood applied, what we're then going to do over the top of both our Basilicanum Grey and our Black Templar horse is we're going to apply Black Legion over the top of all of the hair. But to make things nice and confusing, what we're also going to do at this point is paint in all of the kind of straps and things on the horse. So like the reins and the bridle and stuff like that. And we're going to paint in all of their hooves as well. This is across all three. So with all that Black Legion applied, next up what we're going to do is we're going to take some Blood Angels Red and we're going to apply this over the top of the saddle blankets. So with that Blood Angels Red all applied, we then take some Cygor Brown and we're going to apply this over the top of the fur around the outside of the saddle blanket. But what we're also going to do is we're going to apply this over the top of any kind of leather sort of embellishments that some of them have. So for example, this guy on his saddle, he has a water skin just here. So we're going to apply this over the top of that. We're not going to apply this over the top of the fur blankets and bedrolls and stuff like that. I'm going to use a different colour for that, just to keep things a little bit varied and visually interesting. So with that then done, we take some Gore-Grunta Fur. I'm going to use this to paint in any of the furry blankets. And if you want this to be a little bit darker, just do a second coat. I will probably do a second coat, as it's just a little bit warm for my tastes over Wraithbone. And then once that's done, we're going to take some Black Legion once again. I'm going to use this to paint in any kind of remaining straps and things like that. With that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Poxwalker and we're going to apply this over the top of any heads that are hanging from any belts, or indeed from any horse. With that Poxwalker applied, we're then going to take some Gryph-Charger Grey. I'm going to use this over the top of any fur on our riders. So some of them have got, I mean, they've all got it on their boots. Like that, but some of them have got it in and around their clothes as well. However, what we're also going to do with the Gryph-Charger Grey is we're going to apply this over the top of any of these little rune stones. Like that. So with that all done, our next colour is going to be some Cygor Brown, and we're going to apply this over the top of the flesh. I'm going to do this over the top of two of them. And some of them are wearing trousers, but most of them are not. And with that Cygor Brown applied, we're then going to take some Guilliman Flesh and we're going to apply this over the top of the remaining skin on our other rider. And with that now done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Black Legion once again. And we're going to apply this over top of pretty much all the remaining leather. So we're looking for wraps on weapons, holsters. We're going to colour in that hair of the head and of the rider. Belts, harnesses, bracers, the inside of the shield. It's a whole lot of Black Legion. And would you believe it? We still won't be done with it. With all that Black Legion now applied, we then take Agrax Earthshade. And we're going to apply this over top of any trousers or shirts. I've just caught up the banner with all the colours we've done so far, the Gryph-Charger Grey and the Poxwalker and the Black Legion, for example. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take some Blood Angels Red. And we're going to apply this over the top of the hair. But what we do also have on our champion is his top knot. I'm going to apply the Blood Angels Red over the top of that as well. And so with that all done, we're then going to take two colours, Skeleton Horde and Black Templar. And we're going to be using these on the horns of the standard, but also on the horn being blown by our musician. But in addition to this, we're also going to use Skeleton Horde just over the top on its own with any bones. So, for example, we're going to, here on this skull, apply the Skeleton Horde all over. Just like that. There we go. And then on all those horns, the reason why we've got the two colours, is we're going to take the Skeleton Horde and going to apply it all over the top of the horn or tusk, like that. And then going to wash the brush, touch off the water, grab some Black Templar. And then towards the tip, around about halfway along, we're going to apply the Black Templar like so. Then we're going to wash the brush one more time, touch off the water one more time, once again go back to the Skeleton Horde, and then just apply this where the two colours meet, just to give it a little bit of a blend. That sort of thing. So with that done, it is now time to work on those metallics. Now the first of these is going to be some thinned down Iron Warriors. And we're going to apply this over the top of any kind of smooth armour, belts, buckles, weapons, that kind of thing. And so for our final base coat, I'm going to take some thinned down Retributor Armour. I'm going to apply this over top of all the remaining details. So with all of our base coats now applied, we're going to add some shades, and the first of these is going to be some Agrax Earthshade. I'm going to use this to shade the gold, and on this horseman, we're going to use this to shade the horse's tail and mane as well.
With all that Agrax applied,
We're then going to take some Reikland Fleshshade, and we're going to use this to shade all of their flesh. Not the horse, all the riders. With all that Reikland Fleshshade applied, we're then going to take some Nuln Oil. I'm going to use this to shade all of the black details, but on this horse, we're also going to use this over the top of the skin. And we're also going to do the same thing over the top of our Basilicanum Grey horse. So with those shades all applied, our Fellriders are now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready, and they're looking pretty fantastic. However, we're of course not going to leave them there. No, we're going to take them to the next level, and we're going to do this by adding some highlights. Now, the first of these highlights is going to be some thinned down Dawnstone. I'm going to use this to highlight all of our black details. So I'm just going to start just here. On the leather. Just like that. With all that Dawnstone applied, we're then going to take some Black Legion. This is the last time. No, it's not. There's one more time. We're going to take the Black Legion and we're going to apply this over the top of the eyes of the horse. And you know what? We will also apply this over the top of the eyes of the riders as well. That way we can put it to one side. So with that then done, we're going to take the tiniest little dot of Screaming Skull. I'm going to apply this in the back corner of each of the horse's eyes, as well as each corner of the rider's eyes and any bared teeth. So with that now done, we're going to take some thinned down Corax White. I'm going to use this to highlight the fur on the boots and things. The fur that we did with Gryph-Charger Grey. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Fire Dragon Bright. We're going to use this to highlight all of the red. So with that now done, we're going to take some thinned down Knight-Questor Flesh. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the flesh on our Cygor Brown. Warriors. But what we're also going to do with it is we're also going to highlight anywhere else that we used Cygor Brown. Just like that. So, with all that Knight-Questor Flesh applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Flayed One Flesh. And we're going to use this to highlight our pale horses. Just along the sharpest points. Just going to pick out areas such as that bit around the neck, the ears, the eyes, and any kind of veins or whatnot. Like so. But what we're also going to do with the Flayed One Flesh is highlight the skin that we originally did with Guilliman Flesh. And so with that all done, it is now time to work on the metallics. And the colour we're going to be using first is some thinned down Ironbreaker. I'm going to use this to highlight all the silver. And finally, to finish off our Fellriders, we're going to take some thinned down Liberator Gold. I'm going to use this to highlight all the gold. And with their bases now complete, our Darkoath Fellriders are finished. And I really like these guys. They're a fun little cavalry unit. It'll be nice to support your Chaos Knights and indeed your Varangard as well. Lots of really cool mounted options for the Slaves to Darkness these days. Especially these guys. I mean, Chaos Knights are pretty cool though. I really like Chaos Knights. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member. by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.